to be safe.
Is that me? That's me. All right, I did it. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know. I'm dealing with divas and superstars, and I'm just a working schlub. I don't fucking know. We have no guest. So do I even kick it to anyone? What are you gonna do? Introduce me?
Kick it to Frank.
Why?
You're beautiful. You're beautiful.
I can't show this anywhere. Blunt gets pissed.
Thank you, Pat.
Blunt's a bad guy?
Blunt's a jerk.
I figured he'd just be happy anybody was listening to his music. He'd be like, in 2022, people are that into my music. Thank you, Jesus.
No, because it plays in every fucking store in the world.
Or thank you, whatever demon I let butt fuck me to get a career.
Yeah, him and the Had a Bad Day guy are fucking living off that shit money.
They're not the same person?
No.
Oh,
Blunt does
boy.
have a second song. It's like 1973 or something like that.
We listened to his second best hit at Compound the other day, and none of us made it past his first line because he just says something really serious in that high-pitched voice, and we all died laughing. We're like, no, I can't.
Yeah, but it's like he sings about a year. I know the song too because I even looked it up. I was like, what the other Blunt shit? Because when we were sharing the podcast this week, I wanted to put a song on the Instagram story, and I'm like, oh, there's more Blunt songs. Don't search Blunt songs or you get Cypress Hill.
Excuse me?
Said speaking of beautiful, Frank's here too.
Frank is here. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. You know what? Fuck it. I'll introduce. That's Frank, and that's Bobby, and I'm Pat. And if you don't know that by now, fine. And maybe you're just watching on Patreon, and maybe you'll wait a couple more days and not watch it on Patreon. But if you're watching it on Patreon, you aren't one person who asked us to fucking do shit for you, and then you never thought about paying us, and just dropped your fucking Patreon account because you're a diva and you sell drugs. Anyway, go ahead.
Go ahead. It's your show.
Someone go ahead. It's not my show. It's everyone's show.
Well,
I don't have a show.
All right.
All together.
All right. Calm down.
No,
Calm
I will
down.
not calm down. You told me that
Medication
today.
will
My boss
kick
told
in.
me that yesterday. Fuckers, stop telling me to calm down. I will calm up.
Well, you haven't changed.
I have changed until you came back. It's been, Bobby, when's the last time I yelled? It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Just relax 1 second.
No,
While you're relaxing,
I'm fucking coming home from work. I'm getting a message. I must leave by 6:55. Why? Is Golden Girls on? What the fuck? Bobby has a show. I got nothing. I went to work on my day off. I haven't had a day off in 14 days. I'm going to go perform with you tomorrow and then go to sleep for an hour and go back to work. I liked it better when I had no money and I begged Frank for money. I liked it better. When I was just a homeless shithead. I hate responsibility. Go ahead.
All right. Welcome to the Pat Oates Show, the POS show.
Who's the guest?
With co-hosts
Can I be the guest?
Pat Oates and Bobby Tamburo. And I am your announcer, Frank Mergallo.
Yeah.
Tonight, we have no guest. We're
Yeah, you
going to
should.
freewheel it, and I'm going to send it back to Pat.
No,
Pat?
I don't want it.
All right, I'm going to
I'll
send
start
it.
this off.
I'll send it to Bobby. Bobby, how you doing?
I'm good. Question for the group. We'll go around in a circle. Would you rather be a comedic magician or somebody who posts a picture of themselves chugging a gallon of milk on Facebook with it like all spilling down their face?
Milk.
We'll go to you first, Pat.
Milk.
Why?
Because I think it's actually less embarrassing.
Right. Because obviously, if you were good at comedy or magic, you just do that. You wouldn't try to combine.
If I'm
the
just
two.
chugging milk and it spills on my face, no one's really good at chugging milk. And like, if you're doing it, everyone can go, that makes sense. I couldn't do that. It's stupid. It must be for a cause. No one's kind of doing magic and kind of doing comedy for a cause. They're just a loser and they can't do anything. So they thought they could fake it at one of each.
Frank, we'll go to you next. I like your thoughts, Pat.
I thank you, Bobby. And Pat, very astute with that answer. I have to say that I cannot take a sip of milk, no less chug of milk, because I'm glucose and not glucose. What is it? Lactose? What is it?
Yeah, you must be it. You don't even know what it is.
Anti-Semitic.
Glucose, you fucker. It's lactose
I'm not
intolerant.
I'm both. I got the combination.
Now,
Glucose,
first of all,
the
how about
sugar.
you do your answer without shitting on me? Because you don't once this ends, you'll realize why I just defended our friend Bobby. Because if you pay attention to this show ever, he's once again talking about a woman that took his girlfriend or his man, whatever he is.
Lactose. I'm lactose intolerant.
You're
That's
anti-Semitic.
it. It took me a while to get it. So I can't even sip milk, no less chug it.
Yeah, but
So
I'd
that's
rather
why-
sip milk and die than support someone that was mean to Bobby.
Hang on. Just let him have his answer. It's all good, Pat.
No, he doesn't pay attention to anything.
So Frank,
Touchdown.
so
Yeah,
Frank, you're lactose
touchdown.
intolerant, so you do the other one.
That's my answer. And it's I
Okay.
know it's a medical reason. That's why I'm deferred, but that's where I'm going.
You know what? You both are correct. The answer is if you're either one, you should kill yourself. Pat, let's hit our first story.
No. Did that same guy chug milk?
Let's just say today is a
Was
special
it for a
day.
cause at least?
I don't know, dude. I don't stalk him.
No, but you saw the
looked
picture, so
into
there
it.
must be a write up like, hey, this is for lupus or some shit.
Well, no, the reason why I saw the picture is it was his Facebook profile picture. And for some reason, it turns out when you are talking to another person and another person is talking to that same person a bunch, Facebook's like, you two should be friends.
Yeah.
So little tip for any of you out there, if you see a random dude start popping up in your suggested friends, do a little research. Chances are he's a milk chugging comedic magician.
I was about to say what's his name, but I'm obviously not going to say his name. But there's a milk chugging guy in the profile. I'll look out for it.
I think his name's Milo Yiannopoulos.
That is not who it is.
Yeah. It must be awkward for him having that name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone must think
Being
he's that
the
other
worst, being the worst of the two Milo Yiannopoulos must be tough.
guy.
All right, Pat, what do you got for our
Is
first
he still the
story?
worst?
Yeah, he is the worst.
Where the fuck did all my shit go?
Frank, do you have a story for us this week?
I do have
Yes.
stories. Hold on.
Oh, I
well-
no. I'm just checking in with Frank while you look to fill in some of the time. And I like that shirt, Frank.
Thanks.
It's a nice style.
Yeah, I used to, in the 80s, that's all I wore were Hawaiian shirts.
Oh, okay.
In the winter time, didn't matter. I always had a Hawaiian shirt on.
Well, you lost a significant amount of weight since the 80s, correct?
Yeah.
So and I don't mean this offensively. I also have lost an amount of weight. There was a point in time where I was hefty enough that really Hawaiian shirts were one of like 3 styles that were truly an option for me. Was it a stylistic choice or did it just kind of come down to that for you? You're
No,
like,
I was 300 pounds. It never bothered me. It
either,
seriously never bothered me being 300 pounds. I didn't
Speaking
have
of
a
tits,
problem with it.
I breastfeed my fiance and feel sexier thanks to an herbal supplement. She's milking it for all it's worth. That's the fucking beginning pun. A Scottish mom says she started to breastfeed her boyfriend because she feels sexier and more womanly when she's lactating. Lana Michaels made the candid confession during an interview with The Sun last week, revealing that she takes supplements to help with her milk supply. Michaels, who has 2 children, ages 11 and 7, said she now breastfeeds her boyfriend, Sean, twice a week and finds the experience highly erotic. I breastfeed my children, and I really miss breastfeeding them and the feeling of it, she said. So Sean told the publication that he first proposed the idea 18 months ago after he and Michaels engaged in a foursome with another couple. We had an open relationship. We both like trying different kinks, he explained. I've been sucking from another woman when I started feeding milk in my mouth. That burned up the sexual idea of breast milk connected with sex, and it went from there. Michaels took to the internet to discover how she could restart her milk supply and reportedly found an herbal supplement that might help. After 3 days of taking the supplement, I had a drop of milk in my breast, and Sean started sucking to get the milk flowing, Michaels stated, without disclosing the name of the product she used, which is weird. You think you'd push the product. The busty brunette, who's a 34D, boasted that her breasts had become even bigger since Sean started sucking on them. On On the days she doesn't breastfeed her boyfriend, Michaels expresses her milk, saying, I am lucky to have never leaked while out shopping. The couple, apparently and perhaps ironically, identify as vegan, recently featured in the British documentary Breastfeeding My Boyfriend, and made an appearance in the UK chat show this morning to defend their unusual hobby. We don't think it's weird, and we don't care if it's not normal, Sean told his son. Indeed, the couple aren't the only ones breastfeeding. Back in 2016, there's some other motherfuckers, whatever. Who is the piece of shit of this story? Is it this woman for wanting to start breastfeeding again and breastfeeding her boyfriend and not her kids? Now, I know that's a weird thing to say too, but we've read enough stories and we've even done on here. 7-year-old, 11-year-old, yes, that's too old to breastfeed by most standards. But if you're going to breastfeed someone, wouldn't you breastfeed your children and not just some dude? Is it the dude who's like, hey, we were in a foursome and all he thought about was sucking on tits and getting milk? He wasn't thinking about all the sex he could have with the 3 other people. Is it the kids for not saying, where the fuck is our dad? Like, what? Please come get us. We're with this couple that's more worried about breastfeeding. Is it the supplement company for not being upset and being like, hey, why don't you promote us? We helped you. We made your tits work, but you won't mention us when you're in an article. Is it the Sun for doing an interview with 2 people? How boring is the world? Frank, take it first.
All right. First of all, what I have to say is that it's not beneath the woman for not breastfeeding her kids, because what you said is that she does it for erotic pleasure that she's getting out of it. So I think breastfeeding a 7 and 11-year-old is not going to give her the erotic pleasure as if she allowed me to suck her breast. So that's number one.
I'd rather have a 7-year-old suck my breast than you.
Well, you're putting yourself in the story, and it's not about you.
I'm the only person I have.
You're right. That's true. So you're allowed to do that.
Yes. How else do I put things in there?
I'm going to say it's. I don't think it's any of them. I mean, the guy, he's a guy, and he's getting off by sucking her tits. Big deal. He enjoys it. It arouses him, and he's having additional sex with that. She obviously is getting off with it, so it's not her fault. The kids don't even have to be involved in this.
All right. Well, then why isn't it the people interviewing them and writing this? Why do we need to know this?
No, I'm going to go. I'm going to dig deeper than that. I'm going to say it's the person that's reading the stupid story to begin with.
I have a job to do.
Well, you picked on a story that, I can't
Why
find
are you
it.
back?
I can't find fault.
What is this?
I can't find fault with any of them.
So you're shitting on me right away.
Well, you read it. I mean, Bobby didn't
It's
read
an
it.
interesting, weird story. It's not a normal thing. They even
Well,
said we're weird,
obviously-
we're different.
Obviously, you're getting your rocks off just reading this stupid story.
What is going on?
What's
There's
going
gonna be
on? He
Bobby,
dropped it 3
Bobby.
octaves.
next week's story is going to be about how Thursday night 47-year-old man beats the shit out of a 72-year-old. Okay.
You know what, Pat? For your sake, I hope that's the story, and I really hope it's not in self-defense.
I'll take my
72-year-old
goddamn chances. My blood pressure's been low for 2 fucking years. All of a sudden, Frank just fired it the fuck back up. Fire up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to go jerk off now.
What the hell are you talking? I'm moving a chair. I'm jerking off to you, you fucking gross.
Frank's on fucking fire.
No, I
tonight,
don't
dude.
fuck old things. Go ahead, Bobby.
Well, like always, there's a yin to the podcast and there's a yang to the podcast, and I get to be the yang because Jesus, I can't not find a piece of shit in the story. Okay, from
Thank you,
starting with the terrible pun that opened the fucking story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been great if they had been like, her milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. That would have been
Yes.
fine. I would have been okay with that. All right. For starters, one piece of shit is Child Protective Services.
Or Bobby, what a couple of boobs. That'd even be better.
Sorry, I lagged for a second there, Pat. Can you repeat
No,
it?
it's me. It said my connection's unstable, or is it yours?
No, you're back now. And I saw Frank, but so where's Child Protective Services? Take away the 7 and 11-year-old. If you're out there doing documentaries about how you let your beta ass boyfriend breastfeed from you, you don't deserve to have your kids anymore. So boom, CPS is a piece of shit. Author of the story is a piece of shit. The woman's a piece of shit. You get to be able to breastfeed because your body goes through the hormonal changes of pregnancy and birth. You shouldn't take an herbal supplement that simulates that. It's not going to be good for you. It's probably going to cause cancer, which leads to the question, if you're ready to breastfeed and you have to get a mastectomy, does it squirt out like Gallagher smashing a watermelon?
Gallagher or Gallagher 2?
Either one. I was hoping for a laugh there. You both kind of just stared at me. That hurt. I'm going to bank on the audience enjoying that one.
I think it's because you brought up cancer and then tried to make a joke. So it was a good way to go with the roller coaster, but you're like, oh, cancer. Oh, joke. It was a hard move.
I mean, that's how I do. You know me. It's the boyfriend and any of the neighbors. If you see a documentary that says your neighbor's getting breastfed by his girlfriend twice a week, rob that man every single day. Like, I'd be waiting outside like, hey, Barry, where's the 10 grand? Because I'm going to kick your ass again. Also, anybody who's in an open relationship is a piece of shit. Notice how the woman already has 2 kids that aren't his. Clearly, she can't lock anybody down, you know? Just feels like if you're in an open relationship, you're just looking to get away from the person you're with. And in this instance, I can't blame you because your boyfriend fantasizes about getting milk squirted in his mouth from sucking things. Just let him be gay and get off from the fucking cocks he wants, and you go have another kid with a healthy young stud. They're all pieces of shit. Everybody. And you know what? The kids are too. Because if my mom started breastfeeding a boyfriend, I'd beat the shit out of the boyfriend. I'd be like, hey, I'm not afraid of you at all. And he'd be like, oh yeah, little man. I'd be like, yeah, you breastfeed. And I hit him in the kneecaps with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
Well,
And okay, even if he's not gay, okay,
He's probably a pedophile.
I'm going this route. And he's out. I know he had they said, he had a foursome. It sounds like a guy who's just gonna go along with anything just because he's a lonely loser. So like, I'm sure he wasn't the one who said, let's have the foursome. I'm sure he was like just lucky he was the 4th human that they knew. And out of that, one of them still wanted to talk to him after. And she's like, well, I don't really want to fuck you, but I miss having babies suck on my tits. And he goes, I could be a baby. Like, I think he's such a loser that I don't think he's getting off. I think he's just like, he wants attention so much that he's like sucking. I can see her getting off on that. Yes. When I'm with someone and we're intimate and it flew around with their breasts, is that nice? But I've never gotten off. I've never like, oh my God, I got a boner because I sucked on your tit. It's exciting and there's stuff. But that's not the part where you get off. For him, he's just doing that. I know they're saying like he might say it, but of course he's gonna say, "Oh yeah, it turns me on too," because he's hoping one day down the road he gets to see where babies actually come from, not where they eat.
That's better than the excuse he actually gave, which was I was hard and then I tested breast milk, so now it's all associated in my head.
Because he's trying to say the things.
But like, hang on, thank
God
his girlfriend wasn't blowing him and one of her kids walked in. Like, what would that do to him?
Teach him that he's finally a man.
Dude, you get what I'm saying? Like, your boyfriend says, "Oh, I just saw something when I was having sex. Now I'm attracted to it." Like, get him away from your fucking kids.
Yeah. Don't watch that Mr. Hands video, whatever it is.
Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is if somebody's super into chugging milk, they're probably a pedophile.
Yeah, that's the new Jeff Foxworthy redneck. You might be a pedophile. If you like chugging milk on your Facebook profile, making sure other people see it, you might be a pedophile. If you like doing magic tricks, but you're not funny, you might be a pedophile. So the piece of shit is the magician comedian. Are we on agreement?
Yeah.
All right, and that story, that's perfect. That's how that one ends.
The milk chugging boyfriend.
By the way, don't search those. Don't look up stories from the New York Post about breastfeeding because there's one every year, I guess. So every time you look at one, another one comes up and goes, do you mean this one? Like a lady, I'm not going to read it, but a lady 2 years ago quit her job as a bartender so she could just breastfeed her boyfriend because she wanted to get her tits back into breastfeeding. So the guy just stays home and she just sits there and breastfeeds him. That's people's lives right now. There's a whole community about it. I guess they're like saying in the articles, by the way, you were right. It's not good for you.
It's times like this when you really wonder, are religious fundamentalists all that wrong?
I don't
like,
think so.
Sure, they went too far, but are they entirely off base or is we as a society just really going downhill?
The older I get, and Frank probably see this too, the older I get, the more I realize people that are trying to shut shit down, I get it. Like anyone that's trying to make you stop doing stuff, the older I get, I go, it doesn't bother me, and I'm not at that point yet, but I totally get why someone's like, just stop. like if I see, I would, if I had more time, I would start a group that stopped that guy, that one guy from breastfeeding. No one else. I just would stop
and
that
it's like-
guy.
It's like, who does that hurt? It's like, now I got to walk around with the knowledge that that happened.
Yeah, that's who hurts me. It's renting space in my dumb dome, and I ain't got room anymore. No vacancy. Frank, you wouldn't want to? Would you just want to be breastfed?
No,
No, that doesn't sound
Absolutely not.
cool. I don't want the milk in my mouth.
no, I hate the taste of milk. I can't take milk to
No,
begin
you're
with.
glucose
hate the
intolerant,
taste.
as you told
I
us.
mean, I know what I would have to do. I would have to take Bosco chocolate syrup. As the milk is coming in, I would be squirting the Bosco into my mouth and creating a chocolate milkshake.
Frank, I know you already
That-
show your age by being Frank, but Bosco, I don't even
Bosco.
know they're a company anymore.
Fox Hubert. That's
No,
another
I
one.
know what Bosco is, but that was
Right.
the other like Nestle and Hershey syrup of its day, like 1,000 years ago. I don't think there is a Bosco anymore.
That's the last time I had chocolate squirted into my mouth. That's
Who
was with
says it?
Bosco.
Squirted. Do you know what Bosco is, Bobby?
I do based on the context clues. Pat,
Right, but
I'm
you
gonna
didn't know
distract Frank.
beforehand.
I'm going to distract Frank. You call him 911 on this sick son of a bitch.
I don't know. Officer Chang is right behind fucking Frank if you need it.
Can I just say, Gum Fridays comes out Friday. That character comes up. I don't know how Frank ended up with this background or how he saw Gum Fridays early, but that is a main staple. That character is the main staple of Gum Fridays this week.
Asian Pat Dixon.
No, that's Ryan Katsu Rivera.
I know, but this actually looks like a real.
No, I
Asian
know what
Pat
you're saying.
Dixon.
Yeah. You nailed it. You nailed it.
I know who actually really is, but yeah,
I like Ryan.
I don't even want to know what Frank Googled. Officer. Did you spell
I-
officer wrong? Officer.
No, I Googled FBI agent with gun drawn.
He Googled chunky FBI agent, and there was a typo.
Chunk Lee. oh.
Okay, all right. We can dance around. it.
Oh,
We don't have to dance around
FBI.
it.
Oh,
This is the YouTube one.
Ooh, I'm just excited. Oh,
So clearly, you've got an FBI story, Frank. You want to share with the group?
Yes, thank you, Bobby. We've been doing this show 13 months.
Oh, this is my
We've been
phone.
doing
Eddie-
it 16, but you've
Pat,
been here for 13.
That was my
That's the
phone. It's my phone. It's a
Pat?
good song. It's the #1 song in China every year.
Yeah, two things. One, it's racist, and number two, you're making me hungry. So
Yeah.
cut that out.
Racism makes you hungry. First of all, a song isn't racist. I didn't make any joke about it. Yeah, that's the hand job song. Oh, that's the beautiful song. We're gonna get in trouble, Bobby.
That was a different song, different
No,
artist.
it's
entirely.
still the song I'm doing. Nobody wrote. It just happened.
was called Let Her Go.
That's the number
So,
one
Frank,
song in China.
Well, I'm
the
waiting
FBI
for the
came and
maestro
arrested you for
to
pedophilia.
finish his sonata.
Sonata's the
You-
guy's name behind you.
You finished in your ass.
Oh, it's me, Officer Sonata. I at your door. Oh, hands up. I shoot.
All right, Frank.
Where's your
take
drug
it away.
sniffing dog? Oh, I ate it. Because he eats dogs because he's Chinese. Go ahead. Oh, Rutu won't like this one.
Frank,
Oh,
every
Rutu.
time you pause, you give him
No,
room for more.
I'm
So for the
just
love of
letting him-
God, just start telling your
I'm just
fucking
going to
story,
let
Frank.
him finish. I mean,
No.
why?
Oh, I finish on your
You're
face.
not going
Frank.
to live long
Oh,
enough for a career. I'd like one.
Rutu.
Just please start telling your goddamn story.
All right. We've been doing this podcast for 13 months. It does seem like 13 years, but we've been doing it for 13 months.
Some of us
And
took
I
6
just
months
don't
off
remember-
sabbatical.
I just don't remember what stories I have told and what stories I have not told. So I'm just going to let it fly and come up with a story that I think I did not tell. Now, there's also the possibility if I told this story 12 months ago, you would have forgot it by now, or the potential of new listeners that we have. So then it's not a repeat for them. So I'm going with the assumption we got a lot of new listeners and watchers. So I'm going to tell a
Is
story.
he from the LAPD?
No.
The little Asian police department?
Well, no, I'll ask, Pat, I'll ask you a serious question.
Oh, fuck you. I know Bobby got Stonewall, but little Asian police department was good. That's a good LAPD.
That's you brought up a valid point. In TV shows, why do the LA-based and San Francisco-based police stories have Asian cops? But in New York, none of the police are depicted as an Asian. Why is that?
Because they don't let traffic cops on television shows.
So you're saying Asians are traffic cops?
Mostly.
I'm saying if you broke it down by percentage, what I see in Manhattan for certain, it's mainly Asian and I would say Hispanic and African American traffic cops. And then as far as like actual on-duty cops goes, it seems to still be predominantly white men.
White men, it's white.
Yeah, they don't really let anybody do anything.
No.
And because Richard Belzer hates the Chinese. It's in his contract. No Chinese, not for lunch or for actors.
He's been off that show 10 years.
Yeah. I've not watched the show in a long time.
Okay.
I know that if you had iced tea with his partner, beef and broccoli, that'd be good.
All right, so I'm going to try to tell a story.
You're the one who did a side note.
Okay. So anyway, you're right. So anyway, I was doing this off-Broadway play with Alan Abel. Okay. And we wanted to promote it. We've been doing it for about 3 months. And so he wanted to do some promotion for it. So this is what Alan came up with. Alan looked like this most wanted man on the FBI list. He was a rogue CIA agent. And so Alan decided that we're going to have a press conference that I, as businessman Prince Amir Assad, is handling the affairs of this rogue CIA agent, and he wants to negotiate a deal to come in. So he wants to hold a press conference to do this. So he sends out the usual cables to 200 news outlets. And we had this press conference set up for the Warwick Hotel in the presidential suite on the top floor. Unbeknownst to us, as usual, though, this is why this may play into who is the piece of shit in this story. Every major story that we do, somehow it gets leaked to the police, the FBI, the State Department, the CIA. They're always involved, and it makes it a bigger story than it is. So this was leaked once again, and the news outlet called up the FBI and told them that this rogue CIA agent is holding a press conference 1 o'clock at the Warwick Hotel. Well, unbeknownst to Alan and I, who are hiding in the bedroom when the media is all set up with microphones and whatnot in the front of the suite, and our door is closed to the bedroom. We had a walkie-talkie set up from the main conference area where the press conference being held and to our bedroom where we were waiting to go on. Well, 26 cars from the FBI downtown ran to the Warwick Hotel, surrounded the building, and sent up armed agents to this press conference that we were doing. They come in and we hear what's going on, and all of a sudden the door is pulled open by a couple of FBI agents. They had their vests on, they had their guns drawn, and they see Alan and me. Alan's in a business suit. I'm in a business suit, but I have a burnous on, that depicts the Middle Eastern headgear and sunglasses. Alan immediately pulls out his passport, identifying himself as Alan Abel. I have nothing. I do not bring any form of ID to me during these hoaxes. They tackle both of us. Alan goes down on the bed. I'm by a chair. The guy tackles me with his gun drawn.
Jesus.
Right onto the floor, and they start cuffing both of us. They're not waiting for us to explain anything. And Alan's, I'm Alan Abel. I'm Alan Abel. So finally, after we're both sitting on the bed with handcuffs on, he explains to them what we're doing. We're promoting a off-Broadway show at the Little Theater on Broadway at 47th Street. And so after about 15 minutes of bullshitting to them about who he is, what he does, what we do, I'm not an Arab, I'm not a broker, blah, 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 they let us go. But what Alan did, he hands 2 tickets for the Saturday night performance to the FBI agent, the main guy. So Saturday night, he's in the audience and Alan introduces him. It was funny. But here's the question. There is a piece of shit in this story. Is it one, me, for being ignorant enough not to know that I should have some kind of proof of who I am? Is it the FBI for falling for a stupid prank like this and sending 26 cars to surround the Warwick Hotel? Or is it Alan Abel who with his mastermind staged this whole thing of leaking it to the FBI so they would cause the ruckus and get the attention he wanted, that it made the papers, and we got some publicity out of it? Who's the piece of shit in this story? Bobby?
If I was an FBI agent in like the era when you guys were doing this stuff, I feel like every situation I'd run into, the first question I'd ask is Alan Abel here? Like, how many times did you guys do this? You did it with this. You had the marriage of the terrorist with the bride that he was bringing in illegally. Like, at some point, the FBI is just shitty, but it's not them.
You know what, Bobby, real quick, that's important. Timeline wise, Frank, if you can remember, how many times did you had dealt with some sort of authorities at this point with this? Has it been a couple at least, or is this like newer?
No, many. In New York,
then Bobby's right. I just want to make sure it wasn't like the first or second one.
No, about 4 or 5 times
cool.
in New York.
Yeah, that makes sense then.
Yeah, so like they should definitely know who you are by now. I honestly would be like, oh yeah, it's Alan Abel probably pulling this shit again. I've heard this before. Not real original, Alan. So I'm gonna put it on the FBI.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say though that this just tells you how much each intelligence department do not speak to each other, especially in those days. This was in the early 80s. I mean, it was amazing how much they did not talk to each other and they didn't know what was going on. I mean, in 1 year, we got the State Department, we got the FBI, and we got the CIA. Was it the CIA? I don't know. We got another branch, and they don't talk to each other.
Part of me does just kind of wish the CIA just blacklisted the whole room, just kind of dropped in from the ceiling and wiped everybody out before there were time to ask questions. And then it'd be like, hilarious joke, Alan.
But you know what they did? The only thing they ever did is, I don't remember from which hoax it was, but I was on a list when I flew out of the United States. They wanted to know where they would come to me, the TA would come to me and bring me into a room and saying, where are you going? I said, I'm going on a golf trip, to the Bahamas. Once, if I was leaving the country, that's what they would do. And every year I was going to the Bahamas or an island where I was showing my passport. So they would always get me leaving and coming back. One time they grilled me for an hour. I almost missed the flight. I mean, they thought I was up to something. But that's what happens. Imagine today, in today's world, if you get on some kind of computer.
Well, yeah,
list.
that's what all that lack of communication led to, was 9/11, where basically the CIA had one piece, FBI had another, and they didn't communicate. So then all the politicians got together and were like, well, that was a big tragedy. We can't have that happen again. We're going to write a bill that'll solve this problem. And now they get to spy on the American citizens as much as they want.
Yeah. I mean, that just tells you what you were able to do in those days and get away with it.
Me?
Go ahead, Pat.
All right, let me ask you a question. Did you guys have backers for this?
No, that was
No, for the off Broadway play.
yeah, they were backers. Yes.
Yeah, so there were
Yes.
people that invested money
Right.
that wanted kind of a return
Right.
and let you and Alan Abel of all people take care of advertising.
Right.
Right
Yes.
at the beginning, the pieces
had
of shit
no
are the
show.
backers. The pieces
I'll never
of shit
forget,
are the backers.
He raised $50,000. Like it cost $50,000 to get it off the ground. Like that. The only problem was it was many people that invested in this, and they had friends who had friends, and the seat. Hello.
Yeah, we're here. Just go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And who had friends, and they all got free tickets. It only held 100 people. The first 2 months, we ran at something like 83% capacity for all the shows together.
Yeah.
And out of the 83%, about 70% were free tickets. So we weren't making money.
I understand why you guys did it. What I'm saying is the pieces of shit are anyone that put you two in situations where you felt like you had to do this shit. Because every time this happens, yeah, Alan's like, here's a scheme. And you're like, I'm in. I get that part. You're jokesters, you're fun. But if I was an investor in any way and I was involved in you two, I'd say, I've got the advertising, okay? You two stay the fuck away from it. I don't need my guys in my play in jail or worse. I don't need to get a phone call from the fucking FBI saying what's going on as I'm just trying to be a closeted gay trying to put on a play. You don't need that. Are these the guys that arrested you?
No.
Oh,
No,
I thought those, I searched gay office, Chinese officers. I thought that was them. So,
No.
that wasn't them.
No, it wasn't.
No. Okay. So the piece of shit is twofold. One, I'm going with the backers, but that's too like deep and behind the story too much. Number two is Alan. I want to say you, but it's Alan because it's not because of what you did. It's because of the preparation. I don't know if I'm more mad at you for just being so in character that you never brought an ID, or if I'm more mad at Alan for bringing the ID. Like, because like Alan's the guy. No matter what, at the end of the day, he's the star, and he's bringing the ID to say, let me out of it. He should either say to you, Frank, always bring ID.
Yeah.
Or to at least say to you, you know what? Neither one of us brings it. The fact is, he should be going down with the shit. If you're going in and you're really playing a fucking character, the two of you should be the character, and that character wouldn't have a Frank Mergallo or Alan Abel ID. So all the other shit, yes, you would have gotten in trouble for a minute, but it seemed more like a prank. Him having the ID seems a little scummy. I don't know. I know it's not, but it seems if I was an officer, I'd be more mad at that than you. So in care. Why would a guy, an Arab prince, have Frank Mergallo's ID? That doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I go with him because it feels like, yes, you both know you're going to get in trouble. That's all out the window. We know the FBI is going to get involved. That's all out the window. Commit 1,000,000% or don't commit at all. But it's mostly the backers for believing you.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
That's the one that makes me nuts. Like the second there was a project and you said, "Oh, you want me to promote it? I'll get Alan." I'm like, "No, I'm out. I'm out. We're not doing it. We're not going to let you two promote. You're creative enough. You shouldn't have to do it all at that point."
Yeah, I kind of, plus I was so naive about all this when I was doing it that I purposely did not bring any ID because I thought I could get away with it. If they didn't know I was Frank Mergallo.
To me, that's you believed in it more than Alan did. The fact that Alan brought ID means he didn't believe in it. You believed.
Right. He knew what was going to happen. That's why I think he planned all this, and he might have even called up the FBI and telling that's what was happening because it's a bigger story.
To the party because you believe something can happen. He's not bringing any condoms because he's like, it's probably not going to happen. You know what I mean? You're a believer.
Yeah. And the sad thing was he looked like this guy. So I thought I really bought into the fact that we're going to get away with this. Get the story planted, then tell him.
I mean, that's kind of retarded. You should have always thought that you're never going to get away with it. I mean, you guys never really did get away with it. You did, but you didn't. You know what I mean? At least all the stories you've told us at the end, someone knew.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of leakage going on, and
That's back to our first story.
I'm
The
sorry,
leakage.
leakage.
Never
Oh,
It's-
that's probably where I got the word.
There you go. Leakage. Not where you got the word glucose. It's lactose. Anyway. So yeah, Bobby, are you good? I can't hear you. That's why.
Oh yeah, my bad. I turned my mic off.
Yeah, you actually disappeared, then turned your mic off. I'm like,
Yeah.
Bobby's just. I'm done with this. Bobby. I
Um,
went gay. I went Chinese gay pride, and then Bobby was out.
Speaking of pranks, we kind of came up with one last week that I want to run by Frank,
Oh, okay.
and I'm glad you pulled that picture up because it kind of relates to it, and I flushed this out. So Pat, I think you can relate to this in your job. At my job, they've done this new thing, Frank, where they sit everybody in and they make them do gender training. And that's where, like, usually a gay manager or a transgendered manager comes in and explains how gender is really just how you feel. It's fluid. You can, you know what I mean, be one thing one day, another thing another. It's not based on the DNA at all or anything like that. It's about how you feel inside. And we have to accept how everybody feels inside to create a comfortable work environment. Pat, you've sat through some of these trainings. Am I misstating it at all?
I've never had a meeting like that, but I've heard of them. We've never had.
Okay.
That.
That's pretty much what it is. So, and then at the end, you can ask questions and things like that. So, what I'd like to do, Frank, right, is film one of these meetings. Are you with me so far?
Yeah.
Okay. And we're going to plant somebody with Down syndrome. Okay. And when they get to the Q&A part, he's just going to raise his hand and go, okay, I've got some questions. And I'll be like, all right, what do you got? And he's like, so it doesn't matter DNA at all. It's not about the chromosomes. It's about how you feel inside. And they're going to be like, yeah, you got it, man. Way to go. And then he's just going to throw his arms in the air, flip his chair, and run around screaming, I'm cured. I'm cured. Thank Jesus, I'm cured. And then they're going to have to explain to him that no, he still has Down syndrome despite all the bullshit they just said about chromosomes not mattering.
You need a different ending. And number two, he can't have Down syndrome. I mean, you cannot do that. That is unacceptable. You'll be sued
Why?
by every organization
Why?
out there with the retarded people.
No,
But Frank,
see,
they
first of all,
just said-
Frank, here's how you do it. You don't ever
Doesn't-
say he has Down syndrome. That's how you do it. You
Oh,
don't
okay. Yeah.
ever mention it.
Right. Mention anything. Yeah.
No,
just
but you
let it
have
go.
someone with Down syndrome, and when they ask, you just say, "That's just the guy." What are you talking about? Now, you can do whatever you want because they're
I like
never
the
going to go,
idea.
"Well, he's different." You know what I mean?
I like the idea of him admitting he has it and then them going, you can't use a guy with Down syndrome. And he would just put him forward. And he goes, no, no, no. They said the chromosomes don't matter. I don't have Down syndrome.
Yeah.
I'm a normal person.
Yeah. I'm tartar fluid.
Okay, Frank, alternatively, since you don't want to use somebody with Down syndrome, what if we did
Right.
somebody with like MS or cerebral palsy?
Somebody that doesn't have anything.
And then they could
Why
go-
does he have to?
Then,
why,
then they go,
Whoa,
I can
Frank,
walk.
Frank,
I
what's
can
the
walk.
prank?
And they just keep like trying to walk and they fall on their face.
Frank, you're getting the prank, right? It's supposed to be a person saying they're a woman when they're a man. So he's saying, I'm saying I'm a guy, and now you're saying it's a medical thing. So he has to do that. You have to have something. That's the point.
you got? I mean, I like it. I see
no,
the
no.
joke and all that, but I'm looking at the legality part of it. You know,
Okay,
how
I got an idea,
legally-
Frank.
Says
I
the
think-
guy who didn't bring his ID to the Chinese prank festival. What are you looking
No.
at? You didn't look at legalities for 60 fucking years. Now you're a lawyer? Shut up.
Then I got an idea. This one might work. Frank, what if we
You
had
ran
you
onto
go?
the Super Bowl. They could have killed you. If that was 2021, they would have painted your face black and shot you. That's what would have happened.
Frank,
Legality.
I got an idea that might work with your rules. What if we
What?
have you go? We pull you out of retirement, and you go, "Oh, I'm not lactose intolerant anymore," and then you chug a gallon of milk and just keep shitting all over the room.
Or he just says, bold faced, I'm a black man. And as a black man, I believe in this and that, whatever. And they're like, what? You ever seen inside a person? It's pretty dark. Inside, I'm black. Prove me wrong. Cut me open. Could work. I think the Down syndrome is the best one because you're not going to stop him. And Down syndrome isn't retarded, Frank. You you dead named that guy. That's two different things.
And like he just continually gets angrier and angrier as they keep trying to explain to him that that's not how it works, and he just keeps going, that's how it works. And they're like, no, that's not how it works. Like, all right, whatever you say, sir. And then they're like, no, it's ma'am. And he's like, is it?
Right.
Is it?
Right. Or better, you're not going to try to overly explain to him, because then he's going to go, why are you overly explaining to me? I told you I'm not retarded. I got it the first time. My brain identifies as getting it, even though my face shows I don't. I think it's brilliant, Frank. And I think it's messed up that you can have an Asian guy the entire time, and I put Asian people for 2 seconds and Bobby leaves.
No, I mean, I like the idea, but I always look at the logistics of it, the legalities of it. I really do. I mean,
We
because
do
you
remember all your stories. You do not look at the logistics.
in those days you didn't have to. I'm putting it in today's world that we live in. Today's world is totally different.
Well, they say old
I mean,
school's the best
Well,
way.
no, something. If we did that 40 years ago, it's too tame. We got to come up with a better hook, type of deal. But today is totally different. I mean, I don't want anybody to go spend time in jail or have it backfire. And also
You got to go to jail.
Well, I don't want to, have you.
Right? Bobby wants to be you. Let him do it.
Yeah, but I'm just
What if-
thinking
okay.
of what.
No,
What?
I understand where you're coming from, Frank. What about another prank idea, right?
No, that I like that prank.
No,
idea.
you shit on it. You fucking broke his dreams.
Speaking
Fine.
of shit, which is I take you to Dairy Queen, right? We see how many milkshakes you can drink in an hour. Then I drop you off at a random location in Lancaster. And you knock on the door and go, help, I'm lost and confused. Can I wait here and try to call for some help? And then you just sit in that apartment and you shit and fart and you wait for the girl to leave the room. And you look the guy dead in the eyes and go, this is your penance. And you just diarrhea all over his floor.
How was that one?
I like that, except it should not be me.
What
then-
about
and
the
then you-
logistics? The
Then you
logistics,
also
okay?
steal. You also go, I hear you have a cat named Winnie. And you grab the cat and you go, whisper in his ear, your real name's Zarathustra. And you run out with him and you bring me the cat.
This is how I picture the guy came to the meeting, Bobby.
Yeah.
He looks like a businessman.
Well,
I like if they just said to him, no smoking, sir. That was it. That's the only thing they said to him.
I do like the idea of him taking the cigarette out and lighting it real slowly and going, just one more question. Yeah,
And then
exactly.
crossing his legs like Sharon Stone in Basic Instinct. One more question.
no, well, it'd be great. You have him light up the cigarette, drops his pants and his underwear. He takes a big inhale and the smoke comes out of his ass. If you could do that.
Oh, so you have no problem with those logistics. That's
Logistics
what
are
you-
great.
If we can pull that off, then we're okay.
Logistics is perfect on that.
Or Bobby, he takes out a lighter all slow and then lights his tie on fire because he's retarded. I like that one.
No,
too.
no, he do a Frankenstein bit, he lights his
What if-
finger.
What if we took two rednecks, right? Right. And like one got up to talk and he was like, hi, my name is Billy Bob, and this is my cousin, Sue Ellen. And she seems to think genetics matters and our DNA is too similar, but I've been trying to tell her it don't. And y'all says DNA don't matter, right? It's about love. And they're like, yeah. And they're like, all right. And y'all are gonna raise our baby with all the genetic problems it has because I'm fucking my cousin. That work, Frank?
You have to, when you do a prank, it has to be believable. The people involved. I mean, where are you going to do this?
Okay, what if we took Jared Fogle from Subway and he came in and he was like, so it's not about the age the chromosome says, right? It's what you feel in your heart.
Yeah, I'm in.
Well, you got two.
There you go. What if the guy says he goes to sign up for a loan at a bank. We have cameras there, and he has his ID and everything. He says his name is like this name got inspired by you saying this. His last name is Stein. His first name is Francis, but he goes by Frank Stein. But his middle initial is N. So he's Frank N. Stein. And they're like, no way. What's your middle name? And then the twist is his middle name is the N-word.
Yeah.
He's like, see, I'm not Frankenstein. I'm Frank Beep Stein. That's my name. And then they're like, oh, go back to being a monster. How about that one? Is that a good prank?
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
Can you
But
play Frank Stein for us and say the N-word?
Oh,
Or do you not want to spend any more time in jail?
the one we were just talking about, I liked it. I'm trying to think. There was a hook there.
10 minutes and counting, Frank. 10 minutes and counting. So you have to pretend like you have to be somewhere.
Pat, you got anything going on this week?
10 minutes? We're not leaving. You can get the fuck out. Bobby and I will finish the show. That's like we've done for the last 6 goddamn months. Oh, and this is not being a jerk. I want to say this with all respect and all. Happy 103rd birthday. Because I saw that this week. Not to you. Didn't Sam celebrate it last week?
Oh yeah.
Yes, which is awesome.
Sunday.
We were so close.
Yeah.
103.
103. Yeah, missed it.
So wait, Bobby? How old are you?
29.
And Frank, you are
80.
right. So I was trying to think. All 3 of us don't do it, but you 2 together are almost there.
103.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Wow, man.
The 2 of you combined are 6 years.
So Frank, you're a legal expert now. Let's say you wanted to legally remind somebody of a fire, right? But in this day and age, burning anything on a lawn's a really bad way to go. It's gonna not send the message you want. How can I do that?
What do you want to burn?
burning?
Yeah.
What
are you burning?
I don't want to burn anything.
No, but if you're
But
gonna,
like, let's say this is a big anniversary of like somebody's apartment burning down and them leaving you for another guy. And you wanted to just remind them of that fire and like the fiery passion you guys once had together. How would you go about that? Because you obviously can't light anything on fire on her lawn. That's going to send the wrong message.
I have to think about it.
but you
Give me
said
the
you don't want to burn
particulars.
anything. But wouldn't you want to burn something that reminded her of you or the moments?
I think what you want to do is that you want let's say it's you, Bobby, and this is a relationship you had with somebody.
Yeah, let's pretend that's what's going on
Right.
here.
Let's pretend. Okay.
The
You had a
entire
relationship,
episode.
and so that you're still friendly with this person, and so you want to celebrate the
Well,
fact.
let's say
that
I'm
she-
not still friendly with this person.
Oh,
They've
no.
only reached out once, and it was to yell at me about some post I made pretending that.
Or
masks
maybe the
were racist.
podcast every week.
No, I think if you can find somebody that had a relation with somebody that had this particular problem where something burnt down, then you could get this person to come up with some kind of something to celebrate with, where you go over there and you got a box and you got a cake in it or something like that, and then you take it out and then you light the candles on it, celebrating her 3rd anniversary.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say his dick was in it.
No. At 3rd anniversary of this horrific event, but she survived it, and you light the candle and the whole cake catches on fire.
Bobby, I know what
like
I
it.
would burn. Now, I don't know if you've seen some. We've kind of talked about it. I know you're just making jokes and just randomly bringing it up, but I've seen
it,
some comedy magicians in my day. Okay,
Is your plan? Hang on. Is your plan to get really hammered and then rant about it for 7 minutes at the secret show and then call her around midnight?
that is the prelude to the plan.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
So we figure he did all that. Okay, so that's
Our
all.
plans are in sync so far.
Right. And now it's time for the burning. And I don't know if you know Comedy Magic. I know you make jokes, but I've opened for some shitty comedy magicians. And then, thank goodness, a year after my comedy career started, literally a year, comedy magicians were opening for me. It didn't take too long before I had more than 7 minutes, and that was the case. But in any case, if anyone knows people that try to do both comedy and magic together, the staple to it is having some kind of jokes inside a paper bag. And what you do is you light the bag, and when the bag lights up, like the jokes or the thing comes out of the bag. It's always the fucking thing, like a reveal, a thing like that. Now, what I think you do, Bobby, is you get a giant, like a Bobby-sized paper bag that will light up the instant you light it. So you know, burning, whatever, just boom, it poofs. You know what I mean? One of those ones right away. So the bag is there. A lighter. It says "Light Me" with her name on it. She lights it, and then there you are, chugging milk and taking a picture and putting it on Facebook. That's what I would do.
You think he did milk because they wouldn't let him chug jizz on Facebook?
Well, they let him on Grindr. And he's like, well, I can't attach the accounts. So, no, I think he did milk because if he tried to do it with alcohol, he would have gone, and like it would have just spit it out and cried. I think milk to him is hardcore. Did he use a pun like utter madness when he did it?
I don't know. I just saw the picture and was infuriated.
Or cowabunga? Or I'm in the mood for milk?
I'm in the mood to steal somebody's fucking girlfriend.
I like how you think he stole her.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind
I'm
of.
sure it was mutual.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've discussed this. I don't like comedy magicians, but I will never blame the other person. I won't. It's the woman that's in the relationship with you. You can say
I
no
don't
to
know,
anything. I've never cheated. Never in my life have I cheated because I always knew I was in a relationship. I got out of it so I could fuck, but I never cheated. That's on her. And I think her penance is knowing that she's now stuck with a guy who chugs milk on Facebook. As another guy's killing it and doing big things in his comedy career and has awesome shows and doing great things. And the other guy can't even make a rabbit come out of a fucking hat because if he could, he wouldn't have to tell jokes. Hypothetically.
That makes sense.
Hypothetically. In that made-up scenario I just said.
Yeah.
By the way, or do what I posted here, the burning heart. That's what I would think.
Makes sense.
Frank, you've got 3 minutes. What do you have to say to these people in 3 minutes?
I have nothing. I mean, I really.
Not about this, about you. Goodbye, that stuff. Like you're parting ways. You're leaving us.
Where am I going?
You have to leave at 6:55.
Yes. I got a couple of minutes.
What the fuck did I just say?
Well, I mean, you wanted me to.
3 minutes.
Right.
Go ahead, say your goodbyes, do your thing. And I told you how much time you had. Why am I managing your life? What happened? You were managing mine for a long time. What's happening?
I'm 80 years old. That's why I need help now. I need management.
And you look wonderful. You do. You don't. You know what? You don't look.
Yeah. So when I knock on your door, you would let me in.
Always.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to break through a window or anything. You could just walk in the door.
Well, Pat, it's been wonderful. Bobby, it's been a thrill as always. I will be with Pat tomorrow night. If this is up, I don't know.
It'll be up on Patreon, but that's it. It won't be up on
Okay, good. On Patreon. You could.
You know what? You know what? Fuck it. It'll be up on the YouTube.
Be on YouTube. I'll
put it up tonight.
Mohegan Sun tonight, which is Thursday when you see this. So come on out for some laughs. Okay.
Dan Brown will be there.
And Dan Brown. What more do you want? Pat, me, and Dan. It's a thrill. All right, guys. I'll see you next week.
Good work, Frank.
Bye, Frank.
Take care.
Watch out for Chinese cops.
Okay.
Right. You know how to leave?
Yeah, I don't know.
You got to hit leave.
Where is leave?
Bottom part. Scroll down. Don't you go down. Why are you going down? There he is. Is he okay?
I just kicked him. What's up?
Is he okay?
Me?
Frank, not you. You're great.
Yeah, he's old. He just doesn't know how to use computers.
No, not that part. Like, he started right away just being a dick.
Yeah, he definitely didn't read the room that you weren't in the mood for it.
Well, I mean, it's not that I'm not in the mood. It's just like, I was happy to see him. I'm not really, And and it's funny because I for the show, I'm like, let's get loud and yell and stuff. I'm not really in the loud yell guy thing anymore.
No, I get it. I get it.
My boss at work yesterday was like, there's a guy at work I don't really like much. I like everyone at work. Everyone likes me. I mean, it's not even like me kind of saying that. Like, it's legitimate. Like, people like me there a lot. And it's sad. As a manager, I'm the one they actually like. And people are shocked because you do make the jokes about management and stuff. But, like, legitimately, I don't act like that. I need to more if I want to move up more in that place. But I still act like me 100%.
Well, don't.
But there's
move
one
up,
guy I don't like his personality. I don't like he acts. He's a racist. I don't really like him. He's one of those ones that pretends like he's not. He just says it as jokes. It's like, and he also thinks he's funny, and that pisses me off as a comic. Like, see, he's like, I'm the funny guy. I'm like, you're not funny in any way. The other day or yesterday it was, he said something. I don't know why. It just irked me so much. I just walked to the back warehouse room, and I went towards the back door where the dock is. I have a few guys with the key with it. My boss had it back there, and I just walked towards the door. It was like I had nothing to do out there. I needed to just go open the door and sit down. For the first time in a long time, my blood pressure felt a little bit like, oh, okay, a little bit up. I need to sit down for a minute. That's it. As I go sit down, my boss like, what's wrong? And I'm walking by him. I go, no, nothing. I need a breath of fresh air. And he goes, really? Nothing's wrong. And he's a guy who loves confrontation, big guy, everything with confrontation. He goes, nothing's wrong. I go, no, nothing's wrong at all. But if that other manager walks back here, don't let him come this way or I'll knock his fucking head off his body. And that's all I said as I sat down. And so then it was like quiet for like 5 minutes. I walk over to my boss, like, all right, cranky, what's I go? I'm not cranky. I've been in a great mood all day. He goes, yeah, you literally told the DM showed up earlier. And he said, how are you? And I'm like, tremendous. He's like, seriously? I'm like, yeah, I'm doing great. And so then for 20 minutes, we talked about this. And I've never had this said to me by someone who's my boss. He was like, I just don't understand why you're having to process it. Because I'll never understand someone trying to be rational because I'm so confrontational. And I love the fact of his honesty. He's like, I don't get why you want to understand it. Because I was like, you know, it's at the point now where I don't really like him. And he doesn't even understand that I don't like, he thinks that we're buddies. And he doesn't understand I don't like him. To the point where I start to go, when he just walks into a room, I'm like, fucking that guy. He could just say, hi, Pat. And I'll be like, motherfucker. You know what I mean? But I don't say that. And so I'm questioning myself going, that's me. I shouldn't be doing that. I should take a breath and realize that he's not trying to be a dick right now. He's been a dick many times, but I should allow each opportunity. And my boss is like, no, just fucking yell at him. Tell him to cut the shit. So I wasn't feeling that at all. And I love Frank, but Frank does that thing. And I think when Frank spoke, Frank's old, and this guy's way older than me. So I was kind of like right away, like old things are yelling at me.
Makes sense.
Get it? It's, I don't know. Do you know people like that at your work or wherever? It's like you just don't like them, no matter what. They might not have really done anything to you. It's just that who they are, you don't like so much that when they speak, you just don't want to hear what they have to say. But if I said the same thing, you'd be like, yeah, that's nothing.
Yeah, no, that's anybody at my job.
At Dick's.
Yeah, like
is there
anybody.
Don't say name, but is there anyone like that at Compound?
No.
Not even like hanger outers.
I mean, Teddy sucks.
Okay. I wasn't even meaning that, but like, yeah, that makes sense. I know that's a mutual thing with most people. He's not really supposed to be there, so that's even weirder.
No,
you should rather just throw him out. But there's nobody who has to be there, even if they're just on a show with somebody. That when you see them walk in, you're like, motherfucker.
No, really, it's
That's
really not bad. Yeah.
That would suck because as much as they're both jobs, you enjoy. That's more of a passion for you, and to have that person there, anyone that ruins a passion thing would suck.
Yeah, I mean, there are people who have quirks, but that's just kind of who they are as individuals that you have to accept. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like nothing they're doing intentionally. Like this guy, he does something sometimes to try to be a dick. Like, whereas this is just like somebody chews too loud or, you know, something like that.
Right. Yeah.
Nothing,
I've got
nothing
this
major.
guy here that doesn't ever do it to me, but he does. He makes a lot of people uncomfortable. I think he's so delusional. He doesn't even realize that it's not funny that he's a dick, but I think he has to. I don't know how he can't. He has to. He can't read a room.
No, I get that. That's the worst. We've got a real situation developing at my job where our manager's been gone for a month. And in that month, I haven't not left work an hour early, at least every shift.
You don't have to punch in and out.
No, we do.
You're just docking yourself money.
Okay.
Oh no,
I'm
that's what
down
I'm
for-
saying. Like besides that, as I'm a manager, I wouldn't allow anyone to do that. Would they be written up because like they can't leave early on their shift unless they have an excuse?
Well, she's going to come to me. And my
But
response
there's
is
nobody
gonna
now
be,
acting as manager.
well, we have two, but they don't really do their job. And this is best evidenced by she's gonna come to me and be like, "Hey, what's up?" And I'm gonna be like, "Well, every Saturday, right? I was scheduled at 7, and I got here, and one Saturday nobody came at all until 9. The next 2 Saturdays, the manager was 20 minutes late and got there and just bitched about you, and was like, "Why is she scheduling us so early?" And didn't even apologize to me. So if you can't apologize to me for wasting 20 minutes of my time and making me late, suck my dick. I'll leave when I want to. And people were like, maybe don't phrase it quite like that to her. Maybe explain it differently. And I was like, all right, yeah, I got it. Hey, Laura, I'm too fucking famous to worry about your schedule.
I like that one better. I was gonna say, I think, to be honest, I'd rather you, if I was manager, I'd rather you come to me with the suck my dick approach than the I'm too famous approach. Because at least the
Yeah.
suck my dick approach feels like there's a real anger, but the reason why is because you're like, hey, I do what you guys asked me to do. Don't waste my time. I've explained to you my life. I'm too famous comes off as a cocky fuck, and I'm too good for this job, but you still have the job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I
I mean, I'd
definitely wouldn't
rather
do
someone say to
so.
me, you know what? Fuck you. I come here every day and I do whatever you guys ask. Maybe I don't do it the best. Maybe the training isn't any fucking good. Maybe you guys haven't shown me the right thing. And when I don't do the right thing, instead of just telling me how to do it, you fucking yell at me. So you know what? I do punch out 5 minutes fucking early. And I do punch in 5 minutes fucking late. And I know it's only 10 minutes to you guys, but I'd rather give that to you and save a half hour of my fucking life in 3 days I fucking work here. And like, so if we can't resolve this and we can't figure out a way to treat us better, not just myself, other people, I won't speak for them, then fine. I don't want to be here. Rather than someone go, yo, this job's for assholes. Fuck you. Like, well, you work here. I have people who
Yeah.
say that at my job. They're like, whoever, if you work here, you're like a loser. I'm like, you work here. Like, I know you're a younger kid, so you think like working in retail, you think that, but you took the job. No, we didn't recruit you, dude. You came, and you're also not good at your job. You're saying you're a loser. You're not even good at a job that you think sucks. Like, that's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good at it. Like,
No,
I get the shit done.
I was actually talking about
That's
somebody at my
why-
work right there. That was a real
No, I know. That's why I don't feel as guilty. And like this manager in particular who's been late doesn't like me from day one. And that's kind of on me. He came back and I was building bikes in the back and he was like, "Oh, I hear you're our secret bike builder." And I'm like, "Then you heard wrong."
Ugh. First of
And
all,
he's
that
like-
sounds creepy.
Yeah. And then he's like, "Well, I heard if we put you back here and let you listen to music, it's not so bad." And I was like, "Then you're still mistaken. This is supposed to be an emergency. Anytime I'm back here, it's a literal decision of should I come to work today or should I finally quit?" And today, building bikes won out by a little. So that was like our first interaction. And then
Were you
he
doing it
changed-
as a joke? Like, that's your sense of humor, though.
Yeah, I
You were
also
a little upset, but that's your sense of humor. And
also
as a
just
manager,
don't
that
bother
person
me.
needs to know your sense of humor.
go manage. I'm under control. Go take care of people who aren't. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to joke with you. That's not what I got paid for. I got paid to build fucking bikes.
But
Get on
you
my
also
face.
know, as a manager, they do have to come in and at least check. That's part of the job. They should
Yeah.
understand that you don't need micromanagement.
Yeah,
They definitely
also
have to
he's-
come in and see what's up and then let you know that they know who you are. They
Okay,
can't just not
maybe.
acknowledge you.
Maybe.
No, that's the
I
whole
would prefer-
fucking, that's the word.
I
manage.
mean, I would just prefer they don't acknowledge
I understand
me.
that, but the word of their title is manage. They have to manage the whole building.
Yeah, no, I get it. And then
I have people at
uh,
work that I have to be on top of all day, and there's other ones that literally I'll say hi to once, give them a task they have to do, and I will not check in on them until the task is done.
Yep.
And a lot of them
And-
actually know how to go on to the next one without me, which I appreciate. And I won't
Lit-
check, but I will check once in a while to make sure they're not slacking. And if they are, I have to go, hey, I want to leave you alone. I know you like being left alone, but if you do the whole thing fucking wrong, I can't leave you alone. And I know you don't want me to work next to you. They're like, no. I'm like, well, then just do it right.
yeah,
But there's
I
other
prefer
people I
if
have to
there's
stand
just
there all the
a
time and go, okay, this.
written note when I come in that says, "Don't talk to Bobby. Bobby, see this note. You do this." Then I'll have to talk to him.
Well, I've got
The other
this-
reason
Oh, go ahead.
the other reason we're at beef is because like during the first day of archery season, he changed the music in the store to country music.
Hmm.
And we don't sell hunting equipment anymore. So in addition to having to tell every screaming customer that for a year we haven't carried any hunting equipment, then I had to deal with, "I'm gonna kill a big buck. I'm gonna get it today." And they'd be like, "Really? You don't sell any
What
hunting
song is that?
equipment?" I don't know. They're all like, "I fucked my cousin."
No, I love that song. We got to write that one.
And I just had to be like, this isn't okay. And he was like, what do you mean? And I'm like, he can't even bait a hook, and neither can you if you shop at Dick's Sporting Goods. Like, stop doing this to me. So
Hunt
that's our
big bucks that I cannot lie. Oh, come on. We got to make this song.
yeah. It's terrible.
But I know how do you stop the manager talking to you.
How?
Get a puppet.
Ooh.
And you say that
That'd
you
be
went to, and I know you, because this would be better for you because you don't like therapy, but you tell them you've been going to therapy. And your therapist said that when you're upset, that you shouldn't say those words. You have to learn that they're not really from you. They're from another place. So the puppet now says your angry stuff and your feelings. So
If
you'll say
Kyle
hi.
talks
Yeah.
to
And you
me
just go like,
again, he's gonna die.
you give it a different name. Like, this is Robbie and I'm Bobby. Like, Robbie thinks that you should leave Bobby the fuck alone.
Yeah, that's good.
Robbie can't build a bike because he's just a fucking hand puppet. But if he's left alone, he can lay down, and then Bobby can use his other hand to build a fucking bike. Or maybe you guys teach other people how to build a fucking bike because Bobby has dreams and you don't. Bobby's out there
Yeah.
getting his dick sucked, and he's over here sucking dicks right in this place.
Exactly.
So we can get someone out there to get us a puppet. It's got to look good, too. No, not a sock puppet. We need a good fucking puppet that looks like Frank. So,
If you're feeling fiery like Frank, make sure you buy Silk City Hot Sauce.
oh,
Use the
yeah.
Promo code POS to save 15%. You know about Silk City by now.
You know what? I can't believe it's taking us this long for me to think of that. We have to find videos. You know how sometimes you can take like Forrest Gump was the first thing to really do it though. You take like old video footage and you add something to it, so it has a newness to an old. You know what I mean? Like they would take like that actual footage of the president, but then somehow Forrest Gump was in the footage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We need to do that with any video of Frank and Alan Abel doing pranks. And anything that's in Frank's hand we have to put a bottle of Silk City hot sauce. I think the ultimate super prank, Frank would do that to promote other people's shit. We should use those pranks to promote Silk City hot sauce. Like if Frank's running around the Super Bowl, he should be holding Silk City hot sauce in his hand.
I like
have
it.
that written on his shirt, like, Dragon or something like that.
Yeah. And we could have Dan Brown do the animation and it all comes together nice and crisply.
Wonderful. So if anyone else can do that, if someone get pictures of Frank in an Arab outfit holding Silk City hot sauce, we'd appreciate that. Bobby. Oh, by the way, obviously, if you're going to buy Silk City hot sauce, you can buy it at regular full price. It's worth it. But if you don't want to, use the promo code POS, save 15%. Bobby, where can people see you?
Check me out on Bobby_Tamburo on Twitter and across the board. Check out the Eastside Dave Show with Roy Harder every Tuesday at 7:30 on Compound Media. Check out the How Could You Forget Halloween. It's our new Halloween special. It's pretty dope. We put somebody in a chamber and used a leaf blower to fill it with weed. It's a lot of fun. Check it out. We almost killed Curvy Mary. Pat?
Can I ask a question quickly?
Yeah.
Because I have not been on Twitter in I think at least 3 months now. But I'm not sure. Does the POS podcast Twitter still put things out? Do you see it?
Yes, it does still put things
Okay,
out.
because I have it attached to my Instagram. So I've been doing that with the attachment part, but I've never seen it. So I was like doing that. And I'm like, I should ask Bobby if that's actually going out.
Yeah, I thought you were back ghost-wise, and then I noticed it was all the same, and I figured you were using something like that where it all does the same.
And I hope that makes it. That was my thought too. I think someone else messaged me, goes, "Are you on there as that thing?" I'm like, "Oh no, I don't go on it." They're like, "Really? Then why do you have it?" I go, "It was just there," and I figured I was like use it promotional. And I don't want you to take on another account when you have enough shit going on. But I was just wondering.
Yeah, I also don't tweet, so I don't tweet.
I was just
nearly
wondering
as much as
if it went out there at all, and if it does, if anyone's writing fucked up shit under it because I can't respond.
I don't think at that. No, I think you're
No, I mean, if I was like, "Fuck your podcast, fuck you, you're gay," I'm like, I wouldn't know. Like, it's just there every week.
Yeah.
But okay, so you don't have to go follow that on Twitter, but you could. Or follow me on our POS podcast on Instagram. It's the same fucking thing shared. But I do that because on Instagram you can't really click a link. In the link I put in, you can do on Twitter and find. But
Makes sense. Yeah.
we've been putting out a lot of fun shows. Just get on over to the YouTube channel, POS Podcast YouTube channel, or get on the Patreon. We'd love to have you over there. $3 a month. Support us doing our fucking thing. We're having a lot of fun. You can see our episodes. We put a lot of them on YouTube, but we do have some exclusive ones that are also there. But we like our episodes, so we put them out for free anyway. But whatever. You get them earlier, you get them more often. It's a lot of fun. We enjoy it. We have interactions with people on there. It's a good time. So join on there so you can chat with us and have fun. Besides that, I don't have much to fucking promote. I don't really care. Just do the podcast shit. And and don't be an asshole. I don't
If you
know,
can't
that-
join them, beat them. And remember, don't be a piece of shit.
Yeah, except for Frank.